Okay, so ready to dive in. Today we've got a really an interesting one, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're looking at Ghana and Nigeria,
Okay.
and we're starting with this text snippet with a very provocative title, I'd say.
Hmm.
It's called Ghana as a Country. In what area they're better than Nigeria?
Mm, interesting.
And, it makes you think, right? Like, is that a fair question?
Right.
Can you even say one country is just straight up better than another?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Like, countries are so
They
complicated.
are.
There's just so many different ways to look at them, right? You've got, like, the economy and the people, their culture and the politics. I
Yeah.
mean, where do you even begin?
Exactly. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
Oh.
Like, we don't even have the full text, right? It's just this snippet.
Right.
So we're kind of left to imagine what this author was getting at.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's why you're here, to help us make sense of it all.
Well, I'll certainly try.
All right, so the snippet focused on Ghana. So let's start there.
Okay.
Like, what are some areas where Ghana really stands out? What are they known for?
Well, one thing that always comes to mind with Ghana is their economy.
Really?
Yeah. Both Ghana and Nigeria have tons of natural resources.
Oh, right, of course.
But Ghana has been especially good at like actually using them, especially lately.
Hmm.
Like their cocoa production, it's huge. They're actually the second biggest producer in the world, only behind the Ivory Coast.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, and what's really cool is they haven't just stopped there.
Okay.
They've also got this growing tech scene and they're bringing in all kinds of foreign investment. It's really impressive.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Exactly. They're diversifying and it's working really well for them.
That's really smart.
And, that kind of leads into another area where Ghana's doing really well, their political landscape.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, Ghana has a really stable democracy.
Mm.
They've had these peaceful transitions of power for decades now, and that makes a big difference, especially for investors.
Right. It makes sense. That would make people feel more secure.
Exactly. And they have a multi-party system, so you get a lot of different voices and perspectives in the government.
And that's generally a good thing for democracy, right?
Yeah, usually it leads to more like robust governance, they can respond to what people actually need.
It's fascinating, when you think about the differences in how countries are run
Yeah,
and how that actually affects people's daily lives.
absolutely.
So do you see that reflected in Ghana? Like, is there a noticeable difference?
I think so, yeah. You can just feel a sense of stability there and civic engagement.
Yeah.
And they've made a lot of progress in things like education and healthcare.
Which is huge, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that impacts everyone's lives, right? There are still challenges, of course, but they're really committed to their democracy and to social development.
And that shows it really does. Now, I'm curious, like, when people think about visiting Africa,
Mm-hmm.
they often think about safaris or historical sites.
Right.
So where does Ghana fit into that, like, tourist picture?
Oh, Ghana has so much to offer.
Okay.
You've got these historical landmarks like Cape Coast Castle, which is, well, it's pretty intense. It's a reminder of the slave trade,
Right.
but it's an important part of their history, and it's a powerful place to visit.
Yeah.
But then you've also got these amazing cities like Accra, the capital. It's so vibrant with markets and incredible food and a really cool art scene.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, there's the natural beauty. I mean, Ghana has it all, from waterfalls to beaches. It's stunning.
It really sounds like a fascinating place.
It is.
Thinking about all this, it's making me think about the original snippet again
Yeah.
and how it focused on Ghana.
Right.
But what if we flipped the script?
Interesting.
What if we focused on Nigeria? Like, where do you think their strengths lie?
Oh, well, Nigeria is like a powerhouse in its own right.
Okay.
They definitely have their challenges, economically and politically,
Right.
but their cultural influence is just undeniable.
In what way?
Well, take Nollywood, for example.
Oh, yeah. Their film industry.
Exactly. It's the second largest in the world.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, only behind Bollywood. It's huge.
That's incredible.
And their music is everywhere, too. You've got artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid. They're topping charts all over the world.
That's right. Yeah.
And, I think another thing that really stands out about Nigerians is their entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're known for being really resilient, really resourceful, and they're driving innovation in so many different areas.
Huh. That's amazing.
It really is. So yeah, even just starting with this simple question,
Yeah.
about which country is better, it opens up this whole world of fascinating stuff.
It really does. And it shows that these two countries, even though they're both in West Africa, they're both so unique,
Absolutely.
and they both have so much to offer.
That's right.
And I think, it reminds us that we should be looking at these comparisons as a way to, like, appreciate the diversity
Mm-hmm.
and learn from each other.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be about ranking countries, right?
No, exactly.
It's about understanding them better, appreciating their unique strengths.
Absolutely. I think that's a great takeaway. And, thinking about all this, what what really stood out to you? Like, what sparked your curiosity the most?
I think it's that even in regions that seem similar on the surface,
Yeah.
the way these countries develop their politics, their societies, their economies,
Yeah.
it's so different.
Absolutely.
It makes you want to keep learning more and more and more.
It really does.
And that's what I love about these deep dives.
Too. And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Yeah,
Well, this has been fantastic. I've learned so much,
me too.
and I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about as well. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those deep dives going.
See you next time.
Bye.